Hello everyone, welcome to Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. Well, we're here. We've got about an hour to go before high tide, and it's already pretty dang high, as you can see. And there's a lot of water in this pond. Yeah, I think here he is. I think all along here, Tate. What do you think? Do you just want to bring mud bags and just empty them?
Yeah.
Maybe we could remove the coconut from that pipe. Up to you. I mean, it doesn't matter one way or another.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think we'll just do the mud bags here. See how far we can get. We only need about 3 inches, I'm thinking, to be safe. And right there, about 6 feet wide at the Panama Canal there. Most of it on this side of it. Well, I would like to we've got about another 45 minutes here of really high water. I want to get as much water into this pond as we can, so I'm going to dig this out right here, get my little screen in there, and let more water in, because it's going to be about 10 days of tides lower than the level of this pond, and so we know this pond, it's going to drop an inch or two every day. So the higher it is when we start, the higher it'll be by the time the next high tide comes. So more water. Alright, well, not a crazy amount of water, extra water, but every drop adds up. I don't want to go down any deeper than that, because I'm not sure if I'd be able to catch it if it really started digging it out and washing it away. So that's what it's going to get right there. This here is what the guys have done. And we've also had to put some on this old walk path here going out. And the river's still going from left to right, so the tide's still rising. This is about where it was yesterday. And this one's supposed to be an inch higher, so I believe them. I wanted to come down to this end of the pond to see how things are going. Still have some pretty good leaks here. But the bank here is only about 4 feet wide. I'm sure that has more to do with it than anything else. The 4-inch pipe is right about there. There's still significant leaks in this end of the pond. I still haven't made up my mind whether or not to bring any tilapia here, because when it came time to fertilize the pond to induce the Lamont to grow, we did not fertilize this portion. And so, as you can see, there isn't any. So, there wouldn't be any natural feed in here for them. And the reason that we're not doing the milkfish is because we don't have budget for feed. And it would be the same thing here. If there's no natural feed for them to eat, then we'd be feeding them. And not just feeding them, we'd have to be packing in the feed for them. Because this is a long boat ride from either the fish pen or Taliban. More fairly significant leaks here. This is where we dug it out and patched it. It's the roots from this tree right here that are the culprit. That's why it's leaking so badly right here. So I'm thinking that we will not utilize this end of the pond this go around. It's just fraught with too many problems. Well, the main problem is that it's just one big leak. The main pond holds water fairly well. This end, not so much. You can see the difference in the water in the main pond and this one. All that stuff, all this green moss is free food for whatever critters are in there, and right now it's shrimp. So I like the free food part. Maybe that's so you can get a little clearer idea of how much is out there. There's a lot of Lamont out there, and it will continue to expand its coverage because there's almost no load on it. Even though there's between 50 and 70,000 shrimp in there, they're just tiny little fellas, and so they're not eating much of that. Now in a month, it'll be a whole different story. So we're basically, we're hoping we can get the harvest out of here in 2.5 months. Actually, it'd be 2 months and a week from now. But the real time when we're going to harvest is when all this lamont is eaten. And if they eat it all up, if they begin to eat it faster than it's growing, then we know we're getting close. And when it's all gone, it's time to harvest. And whether or not that'll be 1 month, 6 weeks, 2 months, don't know. That's just something that we're going to have to cross that bridge when we come to it. So I'm thinking this tide, even though it was supposed to be 1 inch higher than the one yesterday, is actually 1 inch lower. Because we're past the point when it was supposed to be high tide, and it never did reach the level of what it was supposed to be yesterday, or what it was yesterday. So these tide graphs are a handy tool, but they're far from being 100% accurate. Far from it. And it's actually, the little leaves out there are actually going from right to left now, so the tide's going down. I think that's good there, Tatai. We'll wait another 10 or 15 minutes and then we'll fill the Panama Canal and we're out of here, okay? So it wouldn't have overtopped the bank today, because yesterday it was actually higher than it was today, even though the predicted height was supposed to be higher today. It's already gone down about an inch because there's significantly less water coming in through the Panama Canal now than there was. So about 15 minutes, we're out of here. Alright, we're done. We got the Panama Canal filled back in there. The pond has never had more water in it than it does right now. We're protected against a king tide. Mission accomplished. Still just barely going over there, but then we're not going to worry about that. In another 10 minutes it'll have stopped. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.